I want you to visualize the last time you wrote something. Maybe it was a report or a memo from work. Maybe it was a thank you note, a text or a tweet. How does writing make you feel? What did you think when I said writing? Maybe you thought about all of those Friday morning spelling tests from elementary school and groaned. If you did, you're not alone. Research indicates that adults tend to conceptualize writing as handwriting and spelling. But children, very young children, have a different, a more inclusive view of writing, perhaps a more accurate view. Young children think of writing as communication. Is that not why we write? To communicate? And their communication can include scribbles, drawing, letter-like forms, marks that have meaning for their messages. And anyone who has spent time with a 3, 4, 5, or 6-year-old knows they have messages to share with you and with the world. And my research focuses on helping them to do just that. Writing is power. Writing gives children a voice to inform, to enhance, to change the world. So providing high-quality writing opportunities for children is one powerful way to help them share their ideas, to help them share their plans for how they will create a more just and equitable world. To illustrate, let me share with you a story about the day a group of kindergartners socked it to the Harper Valley PTA using the power of writing. One day I was observing in a kindergarten classroom for research. The children were engaged in their lessons, and as they were engaged in those lessons, popcorn arrived to the classroom in individual bags with children's name on it. Miss Jackson, their teacher, began to distribute the popcorn to the children whose names were on the bags. Children began to devour the popcorn. You could smell the aroma. You could hear the audible crunching. They were excited. This seemed like a party. But not all 5-year-olds received popcorn that day. Children who didn't have popcorn were crying. Some children who did have popcorn were confused and sad that their friends didn't have popcorn. "Why doesn't everyone have popcorn?" asked Dominic. Miss Jackson said, "Oh, apparently only children whose parents paid for popcorn received popcorn from the PTA." "That's not fair," shouted Elena. "Everyone deserves popcorn. This was a treat." The other children jumped on this protest, agreeing everyone deserves popcorn. Miss Jackson leveraged this teachable moment, saying, "Oh, you seem upset. What are you going to do about it?" "We need to tell our parents." "Our parents aren't here." "We need to write to our parents." The children grabbed their crayons, papers, poster boards, wrote their message, "Popcorn for all. Everyone deserves popcorn." They used scribbles, drawings, and with Miss Jackson's support, some conventional writing. These letters were collected and delivered to the PTA, and as a result, popcorn was delivered to all children the next Friday. The children's voices were heard. That's the power of writing. My research team and I are redefining what early writing is by creating assessments and supports for early composing, not just handwriting and spelling, but composing for young children. Composing is the way that children make decisions about what they write, identify the words they will use in their messages, make links between verbal and written language, all critical skills for later reading writing success. We're creating new assessments that allow us to capture composing by providing children an image of representing a story, and then we ask them to first verbalize, then write their ideas. This assessment allows us a window into their composing well before they can write conventionally, and is changing the way that researchers and teachers are thinking about children's writing development. Our observations in preschool classrooms have identified that children in classrooms where teachers provide opportunities to compose and share their messages have higher writing skills at the end of the school year. Unfortunately, our observations also see that these opportunities for composing are very rare in early childhood classrooms. That work led us to create the I Write intervention. This is a professional development focused on enhancing children's language and literacy through quality writing experiences. Our randomized controlled trials of this work highlighted that teachers who engaged in this program provided more opportunities for composing, and subsequently children in their classrooms had higher writing skills at the end of the school year. I've shared with you today how 5-year-olds can make transformative change in the world when they're given opportunities to communicate through writing. My work focuses on enhancing and providing opportunities for children to compose so that all children's voice can contribute to the world's narrative. Just like the 5-year-olds in our story who believed that all children deserve popcorn, I believe, and my research supports, that all children deserve the opportunities to access the power of writing. Thank you.